Hey guys, welcome to today's vlog. It's time for another book review. So I'm really excited about this one because I promised a lot of you guys that I would do a review on this book a long time ago and I haven't gotten around to doing it till now, so I do apologize. But I am getting around to it now, so I hope you guys will forgive me. Now, I'm going to be reviewing Life Lessons from the Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. One of my absolute favourite books, and I have to say I had a lot of comments under one of my most recent book reviews suggesting that I read this book, and I thought it was so funny because I actually read it quite a few months ago and it is one of my favourite books. It's on my bookshelf, so you know it is going to be good. So I'm going to share with you a brief outline about the book and then go through some of my favourite chapters and also some of the favourite lessons that I took out from the book. So I hope you guys enjoy this review, and if you do, thumbs up, and if you read this book, comment down below because I'd love to find out who's read it, who enjoyed it, and if you haven't read it, I recommend you do pick it up, and by the end of this book review, I'm telling you, you're going to want to go read it. So this book contains 101 life lessons from Robin Sharma. So every chapter, they're all very, very short chapters. Some of them can be 2-3 pages long. Chapter 1 is 2.5 pages long, that's it. So they're all very bite-sized, and I love that because it's just the most important information in every chapter. You just get these little bite-sized pieces of wisdom, and I think it's fantastic. So every chapter teaches you something different, and a lot of the lessons that he shares I was familiar with, but I just wasn't really implementing, or a lot of the tips that he talks about. And then there were some that I just never thought about, and I realized, wow, that's really interesting. So I'm going to share with you some of the different topics that he covers and also the sort of things that I took from them. Now, chapter 1, I have to touch on this briefly. It's called Discover Your Calling, and he urges us to think about what it is that we are on this planet for. What are we here to do? What is it that makes us unique? And to figure out, yeah, what is our calling? And so he says, how many lives will you touch while you have the privilege to walk this planet? What impact will your life have on the generations that follow you? And what legacy will you leave behind after you have taken your last breath? So it really gets you thinking. And then he quotes, there are quotes throughout this book. There are quotes in every chapter, and sometimes there are 4, 5, 6 quotes. He really loves to add quotes. So he quotes Mahatma Gandhi, and he says, be the change that you wish to see most in your world. And once you do, your life will change. So I really do think chapter 1 just gets the book off to a great start. Now, chapter 5 is something that I didn't do until I read this book, and then I've talked about quite a lot, which is to keep a journal. And I mentioned this in my vlog where I talked about journaling and some different styles of journaling, but he talks about the difference between keeping a journal and keeping a diary. And a journal is a lot more of a reflective process, which is there to help you analyze what's going on for yourself and work through different challenges or be mindful of what it is that you want out of life. Whereas a diary is where you can recall events and it's not really analyzing anything. So I now do keep a journal. I don't journal as often as I would like to. I try and set aside time most days, but I haven't really done it that much this week. However, I did get a new beautiful journal from Adam, and I was writing in it on our trip overseas. So I am putting it to good use, and I like to just write down my gratitudes or reflect on the days that have been very significant for me, such as when we were traveling, when we got engaged, our engagement party. Sometimes I've had a really rough day, and so I sort of work through things there. Okay, so sorry guys, my vlogging camera just died, so I had to recharge the battery, but I am back. So where were we? I was talking about keeping a journal, and I guess, yeah, I just wanted to stress the importance of how beneficial it's been for me. And then I wanted to talk about a couple other chapters that really stood out without giving away the whole book. So there are a couple others that I found really beneficial. I really liked how he talks about how to establish the optimal morning routine. So he goes on to write about the Platinum 30, which is what he calls the first 30 minutes of your morning, and these are crucial. And he actually compares your morning routine. It might seem a little bit excessive or a little bit dramatic, but I found it really interesting. He compared it to a base camp. So if you're hiking up Mount Everest, for example, you're going to have to establish a solid base camp. And so he says that having the right kind of base camp established is going to allow these people to go about their days and be successful and reach the top of the mountain. So I think I actually really tried to prioritize my morning routine a lot more after reading this book. So I know that I've done morning routine videos before on my main channel, Study with Jess. You can check them out and I'll try and remember to leave it as a clickable card up over there or there. But I really do make it a priority to do a couple of things every morning, including easing into my day gradually and making myself a cup of tea, meditating for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then having breakfast, going on social media, doing all that kind of stuff. So I never check my phone first thing. I don't go straight to my emails. I'm a lot more mindful of how I spend the start of my day now that I've read about it, and especially from this book, just stressing the importance and the benefits of having a healthy morning routine, especially for the first 30 minutes. So there are a lot of other lessons that he shares. They're all really interesting. He talks about the importance of practicing forgiveness and how he learnt that. Something fun, drinking a fresh fruit juice every morning. He's learned that lesson, that it has a significant impact and benefit for his health. Creating a pure environment, or also the importance of becoming a volunteer. Doing things not necessarily for self-gain is very important. And there are a lot of different things that I found very beneficial. I've actually got a bookmark in here. So yeah, I really recommend that you do check it out, because I don't want to go through every chapter in too much detail because they are so brief. But I guess what I wanted you to get out of this book review is he's a very, very wise person. He shares a lot of knowledge and the most significant life lessons he has come across in this book. And I really like this book because I often find that I gain 1 or 2 pieces of really important information from every book that I read. But this one, it's like you're gaining 101 pieces of information. So I really do like how brief it is, how concise it is, and it's very bite-sized. So you can kind of pick up wherever you left off. You don't have to read it all in one go. And there are different chapters that will, of course, resonate more with you than others. And I really, really recommend that you do pick it up and give it a go. It's just a really beautiful read. So there are a lot of other books that he's written, and I haven't actually gotten to any others, so I'm definitely going to be aiming to read a lot more of Robin Sharma's books in the coming weeks and months. I just heard really good things about this book in particular, and yeah, I thought it was so funny that a lot of you guys were recommending I read it, because it is one of my favorite books. And there are some little post-it notes here, but they're tearing apart. I've actually given Adam this book to read, and I think he has finished it as well, and he also found it to be very beneficial. So I'm just passing it on and sharing the wisdom. So if you guys enjoyed this book review, thumbs up and leave me a comment down below. And like I said, I will be creating some more book reviews in the coming weeks. So if I come across a book that I think is really beneficial for all of you, I will put it up as another book review. But don't forget to subscribe and check out some other cards for other playlists I've got on my vlog channel, and check out my main channel, Study with Jess, as well. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the book review, and I will speak to you very soon. Mwah. Bye!